Good morning, everybody. It's Tommy D, your friend, the Nonprofit Sector Connector, Vanguard Insurance Agency, Director of Strategic Alliances over there, the employee benefits firm, and then, as many of you might know, the host of the weekly radio show podcast called Philanthropy in Focus, where each week at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, I amplify the message of nonprofit organizations by bringing on a leader of a nonprofit. This particular meeting is the Nonprofit Executive Leadership Roundtable, and we've been running meetings like this, Christine Deska and I, for over 2.5 years. First, they were in person. First started out in my office space, which I haven't seen in 13 months, but I believe it's still there. We started out with about half a dozen people, and we've had as many as 47 people come to one of these events. And each month we bring together some subject matter expert to bring what we think is, and the feedback we get is pretty, really says that we're doing the right thing. We bring that subject matter expert in to bring some information that is important to the sector, whether it be from a marketing perspective, a fundraising perspective, business development, branding, all of that. We are open to suggestions. I do not have all the answers. I have a few answers, but I don't have them all. So please share with me. You can do it in the chat. You can do it in the follow-up emails after the fact. Share with us what you might be looking for from a topic, or if you are very skilled, and we have some of our speakers who are leaders of nonprofits in the room here who have been our past speakers. Tammy and I were just talking, Tammy Severino, who spoke with us last month about grant writing and fundraising, and that was just incredible. And if you missed that, it's up on my YouTube page. I can hook you up with that as well. So each month we meet, we get together at 8:15 on the fourth Thursday of every month, and we get together and we start the meeting, as some of you may know. I'll stop my screen share. We start the meeting with, I would be remiss if I didn't have the opportunity to let everybody tell who they are and what their organization is. If you are not exactly a nonprofit executive or leader, and you're a board member, tell me that. Just tell us what brings you to the sector. And I think that is incredibly important that everybody knows, because what kills me in life is missed opportunities. And if somebody could have hooked up with somebody else and helped them out with collaborating on something, and it didn't happen because I didn't give you the time to do it, that's on me, and I can't have that. So what we'll do is I will tell you who's going to speak first. I'd like it to be just about 15-20 seconds, something just your name, your organization, and quickly if you have like an ask that you need, or quickly if there's something coming up about your organization. So we'll try to keep it as tight as we can, so we can get to Brian and his great thought leadership. So we'll go with Beth Buckheiser, who's in my top left right now, followed by Jerry Wade. Thank you.
Morning, everybody. Tommy, you're in my top left. That's what a coincidence. Hi, everybody. I am Beth Buckheister, the Executive Director and Founder at Career Day, Inc. I'm proud to say I know a lot of you. Jennifer and Melissa will be coming to our next event tomorrow. Tammy is on our advisory board, and Tommy is a board member at Career Day, Inc. Our mission is to inspire high school students through career choice awareness. Amy, remember when I couldn't even say that out loud at our first meeting together? So we, this year, in one day, April 7th at Hicksville High School, connected 2,000 individuals with 76 presenters and a school of 1,730 students. We give a scholarship to one student in each school in the name of my late husband, who wanted people to just work and be successful and find something to do. I'm over my 15 seconds. My ask for this group is, if you want to be a presenter at future programs and inspire students through your career story, please get in touch with me, beth@careerdayinc.org. And if you're connected to any schools who might want to host our program, also please let me know.
Cool.
Thanks.
Thanks, Beth. Let's try to keep it to a tight 15-20 seconds, everybody. So Jerry Wade and Marilyn Tickton.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Jerry Wade, founder of On Point Strategic Planning, a veteran-owned financial services firm. I serve on a couple different boards: Junior Achievement, which is financial literacy for kids in the school systems, and also on the vice president of the board for SASE NY out on Long Island. I do financial planning, but I don't just do it for the individuals. I do it for the organizations as well, helping them get their financial focus working right. I'm big onto the financial literacy thing with actually helping people and giving them education. So more information, contact me later. Thanks.
Thanks, Jerry. So Marilyn, and then a friend I haven't seen in years, Ted Kirschenbaum, please.
Good morning, everybody. Marilyn Tickton, Court Furniture. We're a Berkshire Hathaway company, and we like to partner with organizations on their mission. We do residential and office furniture. We work with organizations for homeless and veterans, VOA, Salvation Army, and anybody who might have some furniture needs, we'd like to work with you and support your mission. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Marilyn. Glad you're here. Ted Kirschenbaum and my buddy John DiBiase after that.
All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Ted Kirschenbaum. I'm a partner at the CPA firm Bookbinder. I'm the not-for-profit practice group leader of the firm. So we do basically everything for not-for-profits, for the 501c3s, audits, reviews, all the exciting stuff. I've been working with them for over 20 years. It's great to see Tommy again. We go back, maybe 5-6 years with the original, the original not-for-profit executive director roundtables. This is great to see that it's still going on, and in this form, and it's great to see that Tommy doing well. So great to see everybody too.
Glad to have you here, Ted. Thanks so much. So John DiBiase, and then a recent interviewee, great show, Dino Varelli, who came on the program a couple weeks ago, Philanthropy in Focus. John, and then Dino.
John DiBiase, former executive director at Anabic. I keep telling people I retired. I wasn't fired. And I sit on the board of Options for Community Service and a couple of other nonprofit interests. I am looking for a book publisher. I pitched a book idea to the chair of, I also teach at Iona College. And I pitched a book idea to the chair of the Healthcare Administration Department, and he liked it, but I need to talk to somebody. I've never written a book. I've never written poetry. Yes, I have. But if anybody knows somebody that I can chat with about getting started, because I've never done it before.
John, I have a couple of authors I hang around with, and maybe even Amy might have some connections in that space as well. So we should
bring them tomorrow. I'll bring cigars.
Very well. Dino, and then look at this, another recent guest on the show. Look, I mean, in case you couldn't tell, I run this podcast, which I mentioned. I want to have leaders of nonprofit organizations. So if you haven't been on the show yet, let's just figure that out and work it out. So Dino, and then Heather Edwards.
Thanks, Tommy. Dino Varelli, founder and CEO of Project Purple. I founded the organization after my dad was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer back in 2008. Project Purple in 2010. Our mission is a world without pancreatic cancer. Pleasure to be here. First time on here. I'm an entrepreneur from the very beginning. Gave up my very successful financial services business to run Project Purple full time. So thanks for the opportunity, and look forward to connect and network with everyone.
Thanks, Dino. Glad you're here. Heather Edwards, and then Sharon Kleinberg, please.
Hi, good morning. I'm Heather Edwards. I'm the executive director for the Allied Foundation. We are a health and wellness-based foundation. Our two most visible initiatives, one is we are the diaper bank for Long Island. And as Tommy said, we will probably distribute our 1 millionth diaper coming up this June, right around Father's Day. So big, it's been a busy year for us. We are also expanding our initiatives, and we are going to be tackling period poverty here on Long Island. And because of Tommy, we'll be partnering with Girls Inc. of Long Island, and we're also partnering with the Girl Scouts of Suffolk County and a lot of other great organizations. And we partner with about 50 organizations for our diaper bank. So if anybody needs assistance with diapers, reach out to me.
Thank you, Heather, and thanks for coming on the show last week. Sharon Kleinberg, and then Mary Lee, please.
Hi, good morning. I'm Sharon Kleinberg. My company is Symmetry. We're printers, general printers for the nonprofit world. And since the pandemic, we kind of moved into helping our nonprofits print and brand curated boxes to ship to their virtual event, to attendees of their virtual events. So the company is Symmetry because printing isn't always black and white. Nice to be here.
I love that. Thanks for being here. The Long Island Railroad must show up on most of my meetings, so there it is in case you don't hear it in the background. So let's go to Mary, and then a past speaker, Sherry Goldman.
Hi, I'm Mary Lee, and I am the founder and owner of an IT services company that provides services for nonprofit organizations. We've worked with a lot of organizations and helping them sort out their technology struggles, and what that amounts to is hardware, software, a lot of work with CRMs and donor software with organizations as well as their accounting. So we're based in New York, and I'm glad to be here. I like Tommy's meetings. Thank you.
Thanks for being here, Mary. We appreciate you. Sherry, and then Amy, we're going to hear from you again. Amy Zeslansky.
Morning. Good to see you, Tommy. I'm Sherry Goldman. My company's Goldman Communications Group. We're a public relations marketing communications agency working with a lot of nonprofits. We help them with everything from strategic counsel, looking at your message and making sure your message is heard by your audiences, whether donors or potential volunteers and all of that. We get publicity, editorial coverage for you. We help nonprofits kind of craft their sponsorship programs. I know you want everybody to donate money to you, but what's going to make a company want to support you or be in a long-term partnership with you? So we help develop and kind of strategically manage those partnerships so you can maximize the dollars from that. We do community relations for you, the whole gamut of how you're talking and presenting yourself out in the world.
Perfect. Thank you, Sherry. I just got to keep letting people in the room. People keep showing up. I love it. People moved around now. So where did Amy go? I know I said, Amy, you're here.
I'm right here.
All right. So I don't know where you are. Oh, there you are. All right. Amy, and then Jennifer, Jen Capezza.
Okay, Amy Zaslansky, again from the Book Fairies. We are an organization that takes all the books that you have on your shelf that you don't need anymore, and we donate them back out to high-risk areas, high-need areas across Long Island, the 5 boroughs. We have an international program. We just shipped a container out to Somaliland, which was exciting. And we, just like Tommy, feel very strongly about collaborations. We've collaborated with a lot of you that are on here, either to host book drives for us or to be recipients of those book drives. And we also have a strong partnership with the special needs community. So in regards to Anabic, I was just out there the other day.
Cool.
Anabic program, they do a lot of our sorting for us and pickups and deliveries. So without our special needs guys, we wouldn't be where we are. And one last shout out to Heather at Allied 1 million. It's amazing. Congratulations. It's a big mark.
It is so cool. What did you guys give out of 2 million books so far? Isn't that the number? I don't know if you just said it.
Yeah, we're at 2.8 million. So just close to the 3 million mark.
Wow. What impact you guys are making. Absolutely incredible.
Thanks,
Thank you. Thank you for all of what you do. Thank you, Amy. So just to make this more fun for me, somebody shuffled the deck and everybody has moved all over my screen. So we'll just kind of work it out. All right. So Heather, is it Deleste?
It's Delassie, yeah.
Delassie. Before you go, Heather, I got to pick somebody after that. Heather, and then Ian Wilder, please.
Hi.
I got.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Heather,
Okay.
and then Ian. Yes, please.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hi, my name is Heather Delassie, and I'm the development manager for the NYU Langone Cancer Center for Kids in Mineola. This is my first time joining. I get these invitations and wanted to hop on and see what everything was all about. We are the largest outpatient treatment facility treating oncology patients and hematology pediatric patients in Nassau County. So all of our fundraising efforts go towards programs and services that benefit patients and families while they are being treated for cancer and hematologic disorders. So anything that will just help them make them more comfortable and help them while they're being treated at our center. So I'm happy to be here and be a part of this group and look forward to being part of today's meeting.
We're happy to have you, and I've been over by some of the buildings you guys have over there, and I know you have some space. So I'm gonna say when we can do this in a real room, I'd love to maybe ask you if we can come out and maybe get a tour and do one of these sessions. Obviously when we're all vaccinated and or it just disappears somewhere. But we're happy to have you. It's so great. And do you know Terry Magro? She was registered. I don't know if Terry's going to be here today, but I think you do know that. You're seeing nodding. So
yeah, she's one of our big supporters. So Terry awesome. And I know her very well. So.
Yeah, she's a great lady. So very cool. Thanks for coming here. We look forward to seeing you again in the future. I said Ian was going to be next. After Ian, we're going to go to Melissa Greenberger, please. Ian, you're just on the phone. Can you hear us?
Tommy, I'm mobile. Can you hear me?
I can hear you great, man. Just tell us about what's going on.
Sure. I am the executive director of Long Island Housing Services. We are a civil rights organization focused on fair housing. Right now, we're getting up to speed on a virtual fundraiser, and actually what I need right now is a connection with somebody to do some video work for the people who will be presenting, because we want pre-made videos.
Ian, I have a couple for you. Let's,
Okay.
all right, we'll talk.
Okay.
You do you know how to get me? Well, here's how you get me. And this will be on the video too. 516-492-4928. That's my cell. Give me a call later on. I have two ideas for you. And then if anybody else has ideas, hook up Ian as well. Thanks, Ian. Thanks for being here. Thanks for doing this even while you're on the road and moving around. I appreciate it. So we'll go to Melissa, and then I have to figure out who I missed so far. So Melissa Greenberger, and then Amy Fleischer, please.
Good morning. I'm Melissa Greenberger. I'm an attorney at Pro Bono Partnership. We're a nonprofit organization that has a dual mission. We provide free legal assistance to existing nonprofits, mostly 501c3s in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, outside of New York City. And we also provide transactional pro bono opportunities to attorneys who want to do pro bono work. It's awesome being in this group because I see so many of my clients. And if you are a nonprofit and you have legal questions or legal needs, or just don't want to worry about all the legal things to stay in compliance, feel free to reach out. And Tommy, I would love to be a guest on your show. So let's talk about that. And I would love to speak to this group too. So
I cut you off because I got so excited. I was like punching my what else you'd like to speak at this group too?
I would love to do that as well.
We would love to have you do that. So there we go. Christine Deska, I know you're with me. So I saw you in the chat. Let's make it happen. Melissa's gonna be part of what we're doing here. So excited about that. What is the cost of what does pro bono actually mean?
So pro bono means free. There's a little caveat. I'll put a little asterisk next to that. So for groups that haven't worked with us in over 2 years, or for new groups coming in to apply, we have now this year an administrative fee to help cover some of our costs because everybody's struggling during COVID. So it's a one-time startup fee, but if you've already worked with us in the last 2 years, it's all free. But the legal work itself is free. You're not paying for lawyers' time or advice or anything like that.
So incredible. I mean, and you bring in the for-profit sector, you're bringing great attorneys together to serve in the nonprofit sector, right? That's part of what you're doing. So, yeah, John, go ahead.
My son is an attorney, and at dinner, he charges me if I ask him how the Mets are doing.
Smart kid. I like him. He's an entrepreneur.
By the word. We charge by the word.
All right. So a little comic relief we get here at the meeting too. Amy Fleischer, can you hear me? Because I don't see you on video.
I can. Good morning, everybody. My name is Amy Fleischer. I'm the development officer for Long Island Select Healthcare. We are a federally qualified health center. Right now, because of COVID, we have 3 of our locations open, Central Islip, Hauppauge, and Riverhead. We serve the underserved. We don't turn anyone away. If you have insurance, great. If you don't, great. Homeless, non-documented, IDD population, that's our mission as an FQHC. But the biggest thing is I received 200 COVID vaccines, and most of my wait list has already had it. So if you know anyone 16 or above, especially if they are IDD, just because we want to try to get as many as a vulnerable population vaccinated, I have slots in Central Islip tomorrow and Monday. I'm going to put my email in the chat line and what information I need. And I'd say I have at least 30 slots I could fill each day. So if you know anyone, I'd love to help out.
What a great public service, Amy. Thank you. And yeah, please put the information in the chat. And not to underscore anything, but for those of you, IDD, intellectually and developmentally disabled, just in case, I always put the acronym out there too. We certainly know a lot of organizations that are serving that community out here on the island.
And I've dealt with all my agencies. Right now, the hardest part is trying to get most of their staff vaccinated because they are not, they're not too eager to do that. So, I'm working with DDI and working with all the other agencies. We really got a lot of the houses done and a lot of the consumers done. But again, if there's, we're doing our patients We'd like to get the vulnerable first, but if there's someone in your household, that the one person that isn't vaccinated and you want to have a safe household, again, we'll be happy to help out as long as I have. I'm putting everything in the chat right now.
Please do. Thank you. And thanks for being a part of what we're doing, because, you know, I want these intros to be short, but when there's important things like this, we got to get the word out. So thanks for being a part of this community. Thanks for putting the information out there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm just going to put your phone on mute because it gives a bit of feedback, but I have a few more people I want to go around the room to get to. So I forgot who I said after Amy. If anybody remembers, remind me. Okay. So we'll go to, I know I can count on Frank Orzo to just be ready on the ready. So Frank Orzo and then Krista Janik, quick introductions.
Hi, I'm Frank Orzo, co-founder of NonProfit Sector Strategies, along with my partner, Christine Deska, who I will ask to do our introduction.
Thanks, Frank. I don't know if you were on yet, but I made a new screen for us that with the logos and stuff on there. If you didn't see it yet, I'll share it with you later on. So Krista Janik, and then we will go to Christine Deska.
I'm sorry. Hi, Krista Janik. Wise Words That Matter is my business. I work with nonprofits and experts to help them uncover their mission moments, tell the stories that actually show the impact that they're making on the world. And I'm also a board member of a disability rights and advocacy nonprofit called Silo, Suffolk Independent Living Organization. And so I'm going to absolutely immediately pass on that information about the vaccine.
Very cool. Thanks for being here, Krista. And Krista and I reconnected after a number of years knowing each other from networking. And, you know, we're talking about collaborating on maybe having her speak at one of these upcoming events. So this is very cool. Thanks for being here. You're welcome. There's a 516 after Christine Deska. There's a 516-9873 number. It ends in 9873. If that's your number and you haven't, you know, if you haven't spoken yet, let me know and we'll get you speaking. Other than that, I just let's go to Christine. Oh, there's my bud, Christine Deska, and then since nobody spoke up on that other number, Christine, then Jessica Schwab.
Thanks, Tommy. Good morning, everyone. And I see Jessica came on, so we won't put her on the spot right away. And I see Ed. Yep. Good morning. And Tommy, I guess I have to say, when you said, you know, potentially we could use the site, someone's site, I didn't quite get the organization name. Around hurting cats/children.
That was our friend Heather. I like welcomed us to a site that I just met Heather for the first time, and I basically said, Heather, can we use your space? So that's Heather from NYU Langone. So
wonderful. Well, I just wanted to say, for those of you who are new to the group, we typically have, it seems like 60% of our group are repeat offenders, and then 40% new folks each month. But we used to be a traveling circus, and we are very much looking forward to returning to our traveling circus ways and getting to highlight nonprofit organizations, sites, and missions on site. But if you don't know me, I'm Christine Deska, and I partner with Tommy and Philanthropy in Focus and Vanguard Insurance Agency to bring, you know, awesome thought leaders, subject matter experts, and really excited to hear from Ryan later. So I won't take up any more time. I'm anxious to hear from him.
Thanks, Christine. I couldn't have a better partner on this collaboration. So thank you. I appreciate you. I'm being told, because my community is looking out for each other, somehow in my frenzy and caffeine-induced Tommy D day, I forgot Jen Capezza. I said Jen Capezza, and then I skipped over you. So here's what we're gonna do. Jessica Schwab, if you're ready, then back to Jen Capezza.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Jessica. I am the development specialist at Options for Community Living. We are a nonprofit organization serving Nassau and Suffolk County on Long Island, providing housing and supportive services to individuals recovering from serious and persistent mental illness, chronic illnesses, homelessness, and a bunch of other conditions. Just wanted to keep it brief. I know we want to move to Jen, but it's nice to be here. I am one of the repeat offenders. Happy to be a part of the roundtable and to see everybody. So thanks for having me.
Always great to have you, Jessica. Appreciate it. So we'll go to Jen, and then we'll go to another partner of mine in another project, Ed Probst.
I'm not offended at all, Tommy, for the record.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Ally Against Domestic Violence is committed to the empowerment of survivors of domestic violence through supportive services, including hotline counseling, vocational training, emergency shelter prevention, and education and legal advocacy. We are here 24/7. Our hotline is answered by a live trained person. We are here. We believe you, and you are not alone. Heather from Allied, I want to refer to you. We get diapers we don't need. And Heather from Langone, my sister's an NP at NYU, and NYU Langone Winthrop, and we're big supporters of the hospital.
All right, I grew up in the 80s, and if I don't say the Heathers, there was a movie, The Heathers, and you just called out 2 Heathers. We just needed like one more Heather, and then we got
Okay, that's valid.
we got it all worked out. All right, so Ed Probst, and then if I missed anybody, we'll get him right at the end. Ed, take it away.
Good morning, everyone. Ed Probst, one of the founding partners at the Vanguard Insurance Agency. We work with nonprofits to provide benefit solutions and, more importantly, educate their employees on their benefit options and health and wellness solutions. I'm also a board member at Cerebral Palsy of Nassau County. I'm one of the founding members of the Nonprofit Resource Hub and president of the Bayside Business Association. I just want to quick mention next week on the 27th is the Imagine Awards, which I'm sure you're all aware of. If you're a nonprofit and you are not already registered for the Imagine Awards, we're a platinum sponsor. We have some extra tickets. Feel free to reach out to Tommy D or myself, and you can come as our guest. First come, first serve. Thanks.
Very cool. Thanks, Ed. I put the Nonprofit Resource Hub link in the site. Did I miss anybody? Anybody I missed? Did I miss you, Linda?
Yes, you
I'm sorry,
did.
Linda. I'm sorry, LB.
That's
Go ahead.
okay,
Take
Tommy.
it away.
That's okay. First of all, happy Earth Day, everybody.
Happy Earth Day.
And as a nod to Earth Day, thank you for sustaining the nonprofit community. Tommy and Christine and Frank, you do a wonderful job getting us all together in a room and seeing each other on a monthly basis or more. It's wonderful. So the Corporate Source, we create employment opportunities for individuals with disabilities and provide services leading to independence and fulfillment. And there are a number of you I definitely want to connect with after this call. But I just want to get 2 dates on people's calendars. One is May 14th. Our CEO of the Corporate Source, Michael Kramer, is going to be on your Philanthropy in Focus program. Really excited about that. And thank you for running that, Tommy. And then save the date for October 21st. We're going to be in honor of National Disability Employment Awareness Month, which is in October. We'll be holding our 3rd annual Celebrating Work, a Labor of Love event. This year's theme will be an evening of entertainment. So please save the date for Thursday, October 21st. We think it's going to be from 7 to 8 p.m. That's a little bit fluid, but right now, but October 21st, please save the date. Thanks so much, Tommy.
Thanks, Linda. I appreciate you. Excited to have Michael on the program. And like I said earlier, I run the show every week, and I'm booking through September right now. I didn't say that part. So that's how much excitement there is with what's going on. So if we haven't figured out how to get your leadership group on the podcast, let's figure that out. So let's move on. Let's get right back into this. Excuse me. So the Nonprofit Resource Hub has a lot of different events. Go to nonprofitresourcehub.com to check it out. As Ed said, we're one of the founders. Nonprofit Sector Strategies is one of the founders. Serini and Associates, Sir Tillman Ballin, and Danette O'Connell from Triumph International Business Consulting. Those are the sort of, as we say, the 5 families in the business, and that's who came together to create that incredible resource. White papers, webinars, networking events. There's a couple of events coming up next week. Today there's an event. Today there's your part-time controllers have a are you in the dark with your finances, I believe is the name of the event. And then Christine, help me out. What is the nonprofit meet and greet? Can you get me a date on that?
Yeah, I'll pop it into the chat, Tommy.
Okay,
Like, we have so
awesome.
much
Cool.
going on.
Yeah.
It's so exciting. If you're not part of the hub, join up.
Yes.
I'll add another link as well.
Please do. And there's no cost to be part of the hub. It's as a nonprofit, that is. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. Something about being the nonprofit sector connectors. I get to connect with great people on a regular basis. And I'm always out there looking for people that I can bring to this community that can bring that subject matter expertise and thought leadership. And I'm super excited. I've never actually met this man in person, but we become buddies. And I'm excited that one day actually meet him in person and we're allowed to do such a thing like that. So He's the organizer of the South Jersey Geek Fest, not Greek Fest. This is not a fraternity thing, the Geek Fest. I'm sure he could fill us in on what that's all about. I know a little bit about it. He's a past owner of Tiki Board Games, where he and his team would buy and sell classic, pre-owned, and Euro-style board games. I guess that has something to do with the Geek Fest, but I'm not being judgmental here. Director of Business Development for Clearbridge Branding Agency. He's very involved, and I know this for a fact, in South Jersey and Philadelphia business networking scene. Ryan Harbinson has more than 15 years in marketing and sales experience under his belt. He's a jack of all trades with graphic design work and management skills. As a former COO, Ryan has built successful personal and regional brands in just about every category, and he's always up on the latest trends in the fast-paced digital world and the branding world, which you may have heard some of that, what we were talking about earlier on. When we first started to get together this morning. Bottom line is, if you want your brand to take off, connect with Ryan. He's a connector, a husband, a bourbon lover, and games in any form. He's a go-giver. Ryan Harbinson, it's yours now, man. Take it away.
Thanks, Tom. I appreciate it. Good morning, everybody. Really excited to be here. Great crowd. This presentation is kind of interactive. So as you have questions, Tommy's going to be checking the chat. So please ask as we go on. Also, if you're not muted, could you mute yourself as well too, just so there's no feedback during the presentation. Thanks. And today we're really going to kind of discuss on, kind of going over LinkedIn as, more than just this boring business tool. LinkedIn is social media, which people forget. And I think they tend to kind of go, oh man, it's just so everybody's selling, everybody's doing this. But what we're going to do today is kind of talk about how you are the brand, even though you work for someone. And really going to go into that and talk about the details of that. So give me a second, we'll get started. All right, let's see here. Okay. All right, good to go. Tommy, I have you as the only person I can see. Everyone can hear me. We're good to go. All right, let's rock and roll. So jump onto this, get into that. Coming in hot. Here we go. All right. So as Tommy said, my name is Ryan Harbinson. I'm the Director of Business Development with Clearbridge Branding Agency. What we do here at Clearbridge is we build brands. So really a group of industry vets that have come together to kind of really start something special. So, the average experience for our team is about 22 years. So our VP of Digital is an expert writer for Forbes. Our creative director has been involved in rebrands with Paco, Cooper, Goldman Sachs, and many, many others. And our VP of Strategy has run national campaigns for KFC and Taco Bell. So we really kind of bring that big city firm feel, but the middle of South Jersey with offices in Philly and Chicago, and really work on everything from your brand as a whole. So everything from, the branding, what that creative looks like, what your target audience is, what the messaging is, and then really our 25-point checklist, right? So TV, radio, video, SEO, social web. What we do here is we create campaigns that are consistent across all the different mediums, right? And, we build brands here. And as we said earlier, like, you have to realize that you really are the brand for your company on LinkedIn, and you are really trying to put that message out on who you are. And one of the ways that LinkedIn really kind of goes through the beginning of what your kind of messaging looks like, your experience looks like, is that they kind of rate your profile. All right. And they break your profile down into 4 different categories. So if you go to linkedin.com/sales/SSI, which is in the bottom left-hand corner, they break your profile down into 2 different categories. So how you rank in your industry and how you rank in your network itself. Okay. And they break that down by 4 different categories. So establish a personal brand, find the right people, engage with insight, and building relationships. And then each one of those categories is broken down into 4 different 1 through 25 sections. And then they rate your profile based on how it is. So if you're looking to kind of get yourself up, trying to get more eyeballs on yourself, this will really show the techniques that we're going to be learning today, how your profile is doing based on the new activity that you're kind of going on. So let's kind of start with some of the basics, and then we'll kind of go through some strategy from there. So obviously, your profile picture is very important, right? Nowadays, with the way that the cameras are and the way that we can kind of get in front of so many photographers out there, a headshot really goes a long way. And I think part of that is understanding the difference between the platforms, right? So LinkedIn, people want to see who you are, right? I always say, if I can't see the whites of your eyes, then your picture is too far away. All right. What's really nice too is that it kind of just puts that professional look out there, right? And again, it's understanding the platforms that you're on. Like, don't be the girl with the gold outfit, or the guy who's kind of looking off in the distance, or, you know, my favorite, the club guy, the duck face guy, or the girl with the, you know, the sunglasses arm and the guy's arm cut off. Now, I don't know the three people, but I do know the woman, because that is my wife and that is my arm. So it's all good, right? And I think we have to understand that there's a difference between all the social media platforms that are out there and what the audience looks like, right? So based on that audience, you're going to be putting out a different message, right? So here's the same guy. That's his Facebook picture. That's his LinkedIn picture. Okay. Now, for example, let's say I go to a restaurant, all right, and I know the owners. Okay. I'm going to take a different picture. I'm going to tell a different story, and I'm going to have a different message based on the social media platform that I'm posting on. So if I'm on Facebook and I'm out with a bunch of friends and family, I'm going to take a selfie probably with the table and be like, had a great time at this place, right? If I'm on Instagram, I'm probably going to wind up taking a picture of my food, being like, best gnocchis I've ever had in my life, right? Or if I know, and if I'm going to be on LinkedIn, I'm going to wind up taking a picture of the people that run the spot that I know and give them a shout out, right? So same story, but different messaging based on the different platforms that I'm telling it. It's the same with LinkedIn. So remember, don't be the guy holding a fish on LinkedIn. There's other ways to kind of put your personality on LinkedIn. We'll go through that later. All right, so if you take nothing away from this presentation, this is the slide that's the most important. That really is just spending some time and going over and really putting together a detailed profile. All right, remember, we live in a headline reading generation. So people only have an attention span of about, 7 to 20 seconds. Believe it or not, great TikTok content is about 7 to 8 seconds long. That's really where you're going to get your bang for your buck. So that's where we live. Okay. So short and sweet and to the point. Now, here's the advantage that you have, right? Your resume is only about a page long, maybe a page and a half if you really want to push it, because people don't want to see. What's great about your LinkedIn is that you can throw as much stuff on your LinkedIn as you want. It's just understanding how to write it correctly so that people will take the time to read everything that's on there, right? So let's just go over a couple things and then we'll kind of go live and we'll do a couple quick breakdowns. So one, your headline. Remember, your headline is not the current position that you have. Okay. It's not director of business development at ClearBridge, right? It's what I'm trying to do to people. Maybe it's more of what the client that I'm looking to get in front of is. It's the experiencing that I bring to the table as well. So remember that. Okay. Your experience, brief description of your business, right? I always have mine at like a sentence or two at the most, right? And then what I do is always bullet points, 10 words or less for anything that I want to add to any kind of positions that I have, right? Your education, if it's relevant, is always a great way to connect with people, from going from ice cold to lukewarm, which is going to be a big theme in this, because that's really what we're trying to do in the end of this, is we're trying to drive traffic from our content to our profile to try to create these relationships instead of being super ice cold, right? Any kind of boards or committees or community programs that you're part of are always great. And there's a whole section that you can add to your profile to really beef your profile up. So let's just see what that looks like. All right, so two different ways to get to your profile, okay? One is we can go right here, click on that. I can click on my name and go in, or I can go to me, view profile. All right, so let's just look at a couple things. So one is your banner is super important here, right? So if your banner is just kind of like that, like gray turquoise looking background, that means you have no banner. Okay, so you want to utilize this as a couple things. One, it shows people that you're an active user on the platform and you want to get to this magic number of 500 plus connections. Okay, that's important here too. For this section, I always like to kind of have what my business is here, since my profile, or since my my tagline is not my current position. This allows people, if nobody leaves this section, so if they only come to this one area, they know that I work for ClearBridge, that I shake hands and build brands, and here's the services that I provide, and here's the company that I work for, right? All in one big spot. Now, what's nice here too is that I like to utilize this sometimes for other people. Is this is a great way to kind of put your personality out there. So if you're a Met fan, or you like gardening, or you're a beer person, or whatever it is, this is also a good opportunity to kind of put some personality into your profile as well, right? All right. So what's great is that LinkedIn has a great area of having sectionized editable areas, so you can see anything with a pencil is editable. Okay, and we scroll down. Here's my about section, right? Kind of quick and short and sweet, nothing going on. My featured section, right? This is just kind of call outs to work that we do. So here's some work we do with Rowan Medicine, um, DCPC, which is up in the Chicago area. A link to my YouTube channel, some more stuff we did with Rowan. I was a game developer in my past life, and we had a couple games published on Nintendo DS. So here's a breakdown of that. And there's some other stuff going on here too. Here's the dashboard section. We'll kind of go over this a little bit area, but this is an area that you only see, kind of discusses how many profiles you have, how many profile views, times you've appeared in people's searches, your profile rating, which mine is an all-star. Keep scrolling, right? Your activity. So this is what I post and when I post. We'll go over that a little bit later. My experience, right? This is what we talked about earlier. So look, one sentence and quick and to the point on what my services look like. Same with this, all the way down, right? My education, all my volunteer groups that I'm a part of, and what I do, all the way down. I list them all right? Some accomplishments. So we did a bunch of stuff in the, we were in the paper for my store. So here's some stuff. I've won a couple awards through different organizations throughout the area and all the way down. So if we scroll up here and you look here, add profile, take some time and really go through and just add to your profile. Anything that you have on here, you can add more stuff. Some stuff is not relevant, which is fine. But the more you can add on here, the better it's going to help people really get a gist of who you are, right? And it really kind of gives you the opportunity to kind of make like this resume on steroids. Because what we do is when people are coming to our profile, we really want to educate them on what we do and why we're great at what we are. All right. Moving on. All right, so the importance of posting, right? We have to realize a couple things. One, internet traffic is up like 350% over like the last 16 months. It's absolutely crazy. But before we even get to that, we got to understand what the profile or what the audience looks like on LinkedIn. There's 660 million people on LinkedIn. Okay, there's 2.5 billion on Facebook, but there's 660 million on LinkedIn. So there's a lot of business people on this platform. 50% of those are men, 43% are women, and in between the ages of 30 and 49 is about 37 to 40% of the platform. So more than almost a third of the platform is kind of in that 30 to 50 range, which is exciting. And there's over 30 million businesses on the platform as well, which is craziness, right? So here's my big thing is everyone always gets stuck on this analysis by paralysis stuff, right? So like, I'll tell you right now that corporate content is different than culture content, all right? Culture content is more about you, more about what's going on in your business, what maybe some things that you do. You know, there's a difference between educating and selling, right? If you're doing all your posts are just like, internet traffic is up 350% here at ClearBridge. We can help build your website and really bring traffic to your. No one's going to like that. No one's going to comment on that. Okay. It's connecting with those people, right? Networking groups are great. Like that's what's really big right now. Any kind of events that you're a part of, right? Any kind of Zoom stuff that's going on, right? Maybe those three are kind of not your MO because you don't want to maybe be in the pictures or things like that. So the other alternative is utilize other people's content as your own. Okay, one more time. Utilize other people's content as your own. There's people out there that are spending hundreds of millions of dollars to create content. The Tony Robbins, the Oprah Winfrey's, the Gary V's, all those people are out there creating tons and tons of content. So there's nothing wrong with sharing that stuff and putting it out there and kind of being a thought leader in either the industry that you're in, certain topics that you maybe are passionate about. You know, I think part of it too is also understanding what a cold share looks like and what a warm share looks like, right? A cold share is just like, hey, here you go, share it out. A warm share is more of you kind of putting some of your insight into that share. Again, a sentence or two, just to kind of make it look like, hey, I put some time and effort into this. You're going to get a lot. I always love video. So if you follow me on social, I do a lot of video. Video is always great. Video crushes it. And for me, I've been having a lot of success with polling. Polls have been great, and I've been having fun. I've just been doing fun polls, right? So like, I did like, what team are you on, King Kong or Godzilla? If when you're on the road, what's your coffee stop? I got one out that's right now that's absolutely crushing it, which is I was a Sega kid growing up. What were you? And I have Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, or Xbox, and it's absolutely on fire. The old heads got mad at me because I forgot to put Atari, so I apologize for that. I should have put Atari, Coleco, and Television, Commodore. So, but it's all about creating that relevance. Sure, Tom, what's up?
So real quick, we have people that are frantically updating their profile like in real time. So what a freaking practical meeting this is. I totally love that. So you're totally allowed to multitask as long as it's all on this meeting, guys. So I love that. So John DiBiase has a quick question. It says,
sure.
Do you review profiles and offer critiques? Like, would you be willing to take a look at that?
Yeah, sure, not a problem. All day. Reach out and we can chat. It's fine.
Very cool.
We can take 5 minutes and just run through it. Not a big deal. Okay. Yeah. I mean, so like going back to that profile stuff, like I did this training course a couple months ago for a bunch of realtors, and the woman had like realtor at Keller Williams. And then she changed it to helping first-time home buyers find their dream home. And she said her profile views blew up and she got a bunch of leads from that because you're educating people on what you're doing. Actually, let's just click back real quick to that. So like if we go to my network, right, we go down to suggestions. Bear with me. Here we go. All right. So remember, there's an area at a certain point where you only have so many words that are visible and you get this ... I think it's about 52 characters. Spaces are considered a character as well. So keep that in mind when you're doing it. So like when you get a chance and you're going to do it, just kind of count it out. Like I said, I think it's about 52 or so, and just see what that looks like so that when you're scrolling down, you have something more like this, right? Okay. Something that's more, a lot of dots, but so this guy, he nailed it. He just made it in the thing. This is just a great way, okay, to kind of keep that relevant so your message is seen fully. All right. So let's continue on what to do, right? So for me, I tend to want to keep my face in the pictures, right? Because I am the brand for my company, and what I can bring and what I do online is showing people, hey, this is what I do. Imagine what we can do for you, right? That's kind of the mentality. So I'm always face, place, people, hashtag headlines. That's kind of my unwritten 5-point rule, right? And part of that also is tagging all those people in there, right? So like officially known as the Bad Kids Table, I have my hashtags, Where's Harb, which is my personal brand, ClearBridge Marketing Networking Business. We will go over hashtags if you are not aware fully how that works later on. So, and then I tag the people that are in the picture. Right. Same with all the Zoom stuff, right? There's Tommy. Tommy made the profile. So you made the presentation. So little TNG love right there. Right. And I would tag all these people and talk about, kind of what we did and where we are. And why I'm doing that is because I'm trying to get my message into other people's networks and try to get as many lanes of highway as I possibly can. Right. So if I'm on a call, or I'm at, for example, I was at a committee board meeting, right? I got 17 people tagged in this picture, because now what happens is that when they go back to their desk, it's doing a couple things, right? I'm showing love for the organization that I'm a part of. I'm getting eyeballs and helping kind of spread the word on what that organization is doing. And I'm hoping that everyone that's tagged in that picture will do one of 4 things: like, comment, share, or all the above. Right? Because what happens is now that they like that, I will now appear in other people's feeds and they will see my content that I'm not connected with. So if Tommy likes something on his thing, it's going to say Tommy liked Ryan Harb's picture. And now a bunch of people that have no idea who I am may like my content, which is going to drive traffic to my profile, and now open up opportunities to take things from ice cold to lukewarm. Right? So I'm taking screenshots, pictures of the rooms with speakers, always with my power network is utilizing them. And I put this in there because I got this a lot. If you don't know how to take a screenshot, for Windows, it is Windows key and the print screen, and that'll save right to your screenshot folder. And if you're on the glorious and superior Mac device, you will use Shift, Command, and 3, and that'll go right to your desktop. All right, so let's just kind of see, what this kind of looks like in action. All right, and I like to call this the matrix and magic of tagging. Shout out to Janet Garrity from the Gloucester County Chamber for coming up with that tag. So she's used to be a writer. She's the best. So, all right, so I post. Da-da-da, bang. All right. Let's just say that I tag 3 people in this post, right? So again, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get into as many lanes of other people's highways as possible to drive traffic from my posts to my profile. All right. So I tag all those people. They all get a notification. All right. Now, what I'm hoping to do is that each one of them is going to like, comment, and share. So what happens then is that if the first person that gets tagged likes, all of a sudden they see that they're now getting likes on the post of the like, right? So now I've got people that they're connected to that are seeing my post. So let's just go over what that means. A first connection. I know Tommy. Tommy knows me. All right. Second connection. I know Tommy. Tommy knows Mike. I don't know Mike. Okay. Third connection. Nobody has anybody in common. All right. So now what I'm doing is first connections that I know are seeing the person that I tagged that are also connected with me are seeing my post. Okay. So this is just great extension of my network that maybe just didn't see it because it flew through their feed. Right. At the same time, I've got second connections that are liking my post that I know Tommy. Tommy knows me. I don't know this person. So now I've got new people liking my content that don't know who I am, but now are becoming relevant because they're seeing my content through someone else. And the same with the second, and the same with the third. Now what happens is now we've got a layered system here, right? So we've got 2 layers that are now liking the original content post, and it continues, and it continues, and it continues, and it continues. Until we get to down here where I've got second and third connections liking my stuff of people that are not even relevant to my network that are finding out my content. And that's why the more you tag, the better it is. Let's just see what that looks like in real time. So here we go. This is always fun. So this is live. So let's hope that we get some stuff. All right. So if we scroll down here, let's look and see. All right. So like Suzanne commented on this, on Angela's post. I'm connected with Angela. She's the first, but I saw this because Suzanne is connected with me. And since Suzanne commented on this, it now appears in my feed because my first connection is showing the actions that they're doing within my feed. Okay, keep going. Here's another one, right? 1, 2, and 4 other people that I'm connected with, connected on this, right? On Steve's post, which is great. Steve just got 10 grand from Republic, so love that. But now if I didn't know Steve, and that was a second, but these guys were all connected to him, I would still see this even though I didn't know Steve. All right, scrolling down, same deal, right? So Chad shared 76 Capital's post, and because I'm following Chad, which we'll go over that later, I got to see that post. All right, and it goes on and on. So I'm seeing all this content because of people that I'm with, and or people's comments that are bringing those posts because I'm connected with those people. Okay, here we go. This is what I was looking for. So look, so I know I follow Craig. Craig's the second connection, and then because Craig is appearing in my feed with his stuff, I'm seeing this post. Who's a second connection? We're not connected, but since my connection liked it or commented on it, it's now appearing in my feed, which now opens up doors for me to go, oh, if this guy that I know is connecting, who's in the gaming space, knows this guy, maybe this is somebody that I should try to get in front of. And it goes on and on. All right, does that make sense? The more you tag, the better the deal. All right, let's continue. All right, so the more content that I put out, right, the more people that I tag, the more it's going to build opportunities, because now I'm getting back on the radar for a lot of people. So now the more content that I put out, the more traffic is going to be then driven back to my profile.
Right.
Tom.
So really quick, because I think this might be a question that's in a lot of people's heads. And, you know, specifically in the nonprofit sector, people have a lot of roles and or responsibilities. So from a investment of time perspective, can can what you're talking about, this can be done pretty inexpensively from a time cost perspective, right?
Best time to do it is as soon as you're done with it, honestly. Like as soon as you're done this, if you took a picture of the event, post it right away, because if not, it's going to go like everything else. It's going to fly into the factor. And if we haven't here, I can show you this too, because this is always something I just take for granted. So the way that you tag people and stuff is literally Shift-2, which is the @ sign. Okay. And then I just write. Boom. Okay. And it's the same with a picture. So if I have a picture, I'll go into my edit my photos, select a picture. Already took a picture for today, right? Boom. Go through, and you can do it a couple different ways. People tend to tag all the individuals in it. I like to kind of keep it like clean and sweet, and I just kind of do it in the corner just so people can see. I already tagged Tommy. But if I was going to do, say I was going to do Jerry, right? I could just tag Jerry and go bango. Okay. And that's it. And now they're tagged. And then once I do that, they'll get notifications in the sector. But yes, my suggestion is always, life's crazy, life's busy. Before you know it, you've got like 17 posts in the background that you're waiting to go. So.
And Ryan, this is Christine. Can you speak to the added attention that you could get doing something in the moment, the timeliness factor? Because I think that's a big piece of what you're saying as well.
Yeah, and I think part of it too is building those tag and share alliances that you have, right? So like everybody in this room should just always just be tagging everybody in everybody's posts, because now you kind of create this alliance where everybody's just like, hey, let's all kick ass together and get as many eyeballs on what we're doing, because we're doing some good. Like, you know, 1 million diapers is insane. So like show some love and just be like, hey, good morning, everybody. Got my coffee and craziness. 1 million diapers is insane. And if you got stuff, help them out. Boom. 10 seconds, post it, gone. I mean, it's that simple. I mean, people overthink content too much. I mean, people just, the engagement factor, and we'll go over this later, but remember, content is king, engagement is queen. So as you can build that engagement factor and be like, hey, they've done 1 million diapers and it's way more than they've ever done before. If you've got kids, how many diapers did you go through in a day? Bang, right? Awesome conversation starter. And now you've got all this stuff that's going on. And then if you tag everybody in this group in that picture or in that video and just say, hey, everybody, just like, comment, and share. And we'll try to get a lot of eyeballs. And believe it or not, the sharing is really where it goes big too. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, right on, Ryan. So another part of that though too is like, and I think this might be where Christine was going, like in real time like that, when we're at a gala or we're at an event, virtual maybe now, but in person, if you can tag people and say, hey, I'm at this thing right now, that's even cooler, isn't it? Because like maybe there's a chance
that's more that's more of a Facebook Live kind of thing. Okay. I would say, I think part of the LinkedIn strategy is to kind of do the shout outs after the events are going on or build up to that, because a lot of the people that hopefully that you're connecting with, that you're keeping your network tight, are going to already be present at that event.
Right. Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right. So, so as we post more, right, we're going to bring more traffic to our profile, which is going to be our first connections, the people we're already connected to coming back and checking out our stuff, opportunities to reconnect with those people, right? And then also utilizing the green dot technique, which is reaching out to people on the platform that are live on the platform right now. So let's just see what that looks like. So if I go 2 different ways, right? I can go right here, people who viewed your profile, click on that, or I can go the long way, view profile, scroll down, people who viewed your profile. Right. All right. So over the last 90 days, I've had over 400 people on my profile. I went away for a little bit, so that's why it's kind of down. But like, let's look here. So like, I pay for LinkedIn, so I get to see more than just 5 people who viewed my profile. That's one of the major advantages that I utilize that for. If you don't, then you only get to see 5 people. But like, if Tommy just came on my profile an hour ago, like, and I know that I'm now fresh on his mind, I literally just go, hey Tommy, what's going on? Let's tag up soon. Boom, bang, right? And then he's like, oh, dude, that's so weird. I was just thinking about you. And I go, I know you were, because you were on my profile, right? It's that kind of stuff to kind of keep it fresh and hot, right? And all the way down. Another way to do this too is like I said, is to look at the green dot theory, right? So the green dot is that if they've got a full green dot next to their name, that means that they're live on the desktop or a laptop. If it's a circle with a white dot in the middle, that means that they're live on mobile or on a tablet. So like Steve is on here right now. I could literally just hover over this and just message Steve like, yo, Steve, what's going on, man? We should tag up. Haven't seen you in a while. And I know that he's live on the platform right now, right? Keep scrolling down. Kim, yo, Kim, how you doing? Keep going, right? And then you can just spend that 5 minutes. Steve, yo, Steve, what's going on, brother? Hope all is well. Bang, right? And make your way all the way through. And before you know it, you've got 10 or 12 different people that you just messaged that are live on the platform that are your first connections that you're reconnecting with. All right. All right, let's keep going. Okay, everybody's favorite question, right? Should I connect with every person that wants to connect with me? No, you should not. Honestly, I mean, it depends on your. I will put that with a little bit of an asterisk, right? It depends on your profession. I mean, my cousin is she's a recruiter, so she has maxed out her connections at like 30,000 connections, which is insanity because she's trying to fill positions. Makes sense, right? For me, I hover around the 1,100 to 1,200 range about all the time. I do a quick clean out probably every like 2 or 3 months just to kind of go out, and I just run through. My rule is super easy. Like, you know, if there's not a reason for us to connect, if you're with somebody that's over in the middle of, you know, San Francisco or someone that's over in Texas that I have zero relevance to, I mean, it's not really worth it. You know, I'll vet people based on like the amount of connections that we have. And if we have connections in common, maybe reach out to some of my connections and be like, hey, what's up with this person? Do you know this person very well? Like, is it worth connecting with them? And really just kind of really vet those connections. I mean, it's really worth it in the end, because the reason I say that is because the content that I'm putting out, I want to be relevant to the people that I'm connected with, so that when they think of marketing, they think of me, right? Top, first to mind, live in the feed. That's kind of the game plan, right? And that's what it is. So like the content that's going out is going to be seen by people that I want to see it, because I want them to constantly have my name in their brain, right? All right, so part of what I like to do is, like I said, is kind of go through and kind of clean up my connections every once in a while. So if you don't know the face, I usually get rid of it. Okay, it's just kind of how I work. Somebody just unmuted if you want to unmute yourself. Get a little feedback there.
I got it right.
All right, thanks. So part of that is like a couple things, right? A, don't worry, you won't get they won't get a notification that you unconnected with them. Okay. B, it lets you kind of go back through your connections and develop these awesome opportunities to kind of reconnect with people, because as you're going through, you are deleting people, but you're also seeing people that maybe you haven't spoke with in a long time. And you can sit there and say, oh, hey, what's going on? Just going through my connections, would love to reconnect. Hope all is well. Boom, send it out. And with that stuff, that's as easy as just a copy paste message to a bunch of people. Hey, what's going on? Hope all is well. We should tag up. Haven't talked to you soon. And before you know it, you can send out like 50 messages, because you're just kind of going back through your connections and reconnecting with people that you haven't seen in quite some time. So I recommend keeping your network tight, cleaning that group up. And really, the advantage of that is the content that you're putting out is going to be more relevant to the people that you want to see it. All right. So the more that I'm posting, the more that I'm tagging people, it's going to open up new opportunities, right? Because I'm going to get a lot of second connections involved in my posts, which is going to open up opportunities for me to reach out to my first connections and talk to those people and say, hey, how well do you know Tommy? He liked a couple of my posts. You think you can make an intro for me? And then they make the intro, and Tommy goes, oh, that's weird. I've seen this guy all over LinkedIn. And I know you did, because you were liking my stuff. And now I'm utilizing the data that I have to get in front of you from someone that we both mutually know. So now it's even better. So now, again, we've gone from ice cold to lukewarm, especially if you're liking my stuff and then you're coming to my profile. That is a great opportunity to then go through. I'm even in those scenarios, I'm never going to reach out cold to somebody, because I want other people to make those introductions or utilize the opportunities of people coming to my profile to set up connections more organically. All right. So another way to do it too is, like, let's say that Tommy's a great person that I wouldn't get in front of that could open up some doors, or just someone that is like a good person that I want to really talk to in an industry I'm trying to get in front of. We only got 2 people connected. I reach out to both those people and they say, I really don't know that guy. Sorry, man. So instead of going, good afternoon, sir. I'm with ClearBridge Branding Agency. Did you know that internet traffic is up 300%? And together we can help. Yeah. You and everybody else, shut up. Goodbye. Right. So what I want to do is I want to get more involved in the conversation. Right. So instead of actually going through and just cold connecting with that person, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of hit them with a 3-4 combo punch. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to jump on their profile. Boom. Now they'll see that I viewed their profile. All right. 2, I'm going to start to follow that person. So when I follow that person, what that allows me to do, it allows me to get all the activity when they comment, when they like, when they share, and when they post into my feed as if we were connected. So now I can start to get involved in the conversation, right? Content is king, engagement is queen. Right. So what that does is now I can get involved in the conversation and try to bring that traffic to my profile to turn things from ice cold to lukewarm. Right. So now I'm going to follow that person. Then I'm going to kind of scroll down their profile and I just want to get involved in the conversation. Right. So I'm going to go down to their activity, check out their activity, click on see all, find some posts that have been posted within the last, don't get creepy, 2 weeks max, anything like that. Anything further down, you're not going to go back and like stuff from 2.5 years ago. That's just weirdo stuff. Like, keep it fresh and relevant and start to get involved in that. So like, let's think about this 1-2 punch, right? So I jump on their page, they get a notification that I viewed their profile. I started to follow them, they get a notification that I started to follow them. And then boom, 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 I like, comment, share, or all the above on a couple posts and I leave. All of a sudden they're like, who the frig is this guy? Because now what's going to be one of the main things they're going to do? They're going to come to my profile and check me out. And if they only go to my profile and they don't scroll down, I have my top section set up so that if they don't go any further, they know exactly who I am, what I do, and what I'm about. Right? Getting involved in that conversation is the way to go.
Ryan, this is Christine. Thank you. This is so interesting.
Oh, we lost you. We lose her?
Yeah, she may have fallen right off.
From the perspective of
no.
nonprofits looking for new partners.
Christine, start from the beginning.
We lost you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
We can.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Zoom. I hope I'm here. I was just saying that I'm thinking from the perspective of nonprofits looking for new partner organizations. This seems like a great way, this 1-2 punch of kind of getting in front of a new organization in a different way.
Correct.
And this kind of ties into a question Sharon posed. She's asking about time, and Tommy, I think, talked about this earlier. How much time do you spend per day on LinkedIn? Or is that how you look at it? Or is this more of a new strategy? Because
no, it's all part of the day. Yeah, for me, it's just part of the day. So like, I couldn't even tell you, probably an hour to 2 throughout the entire day. And I know that's like crazy for me, but that's part of what I am. And I'm just in front of everybody. For most people that have more of like, my day is list of things and people to try to get in front of because I'm a biz dev guy, right? For if you're not so much in that world, and you're more of a task oriented person where like, oh, the day has like 40 things I just need to do. Just spend that like first 10, 15 minutes in the morning and just run through. And that's honestly more than enough. That little bit of ongoing. And that's why I kind of say like, sometimes it's hard for people to create content because there's so much shit going on. They don't have time to, post a bunch of stuff, take a bunch of pictures, tag a bunch of people, blah, blah, blah. So it's easier to either just go full engagement and just get involved in the conversation to drive traffic into your profile that way or share people's stuff. And that's really what the advantage of that is too. So, and we know kids and life and everything it's crazy town. So, but by not doing it, you're missing out on opportunities to get involved and get in front of the right people. So another way to kind of do that too is get involved in the hashtag game as well too, right? So Gary Vee has the $1.80 strategy, which I love. So I just kind of have integrated this into my stuff because it really works. So what that is, all right, let's go over hashtags first, right? What is a hashtag? Great question. So a hashtag is nothing more than utilizing a social media's abilities to search within the social media. Okay, so it's like Google inside a social media only. All right. So if I want to go onto LinkedIn and I want to go to LinkedIn and I want to search healthcare, hashtag healthcare, anybody that has utilized hashtag healthcare in their posts, that post will show up. All right. Part of that too is I can also start to follow those hashtags. So just like following a person, I can follow a hashtag as well. And that'll also allow me to get involved in the conversation and bring a bunch of new content that I will see with people that are now utilizing those tags, and I can try to get involved with those people to try to do the same deal. So I find someone that's using hashtag healthcare. I say, oh, this person looks good. We're going to run the same gamut, right? We're going to go on the page. We're going to follow that person. We're getting involved in their conversation, and we're going to leave. And now I'm opening the door for a bunch of stuff. So the $1.80 strategy is 90 posts a day times your 2 cents equals $1.80. All right. And what that means, it's 10 different hashtags. And under each one of those 10 hashtags, you're going to comment, like, and share on 9 posts using those hashtags. The more you do this, the more content or the more people will come to your profile and the more eyeballs you will get. Now, that's a lot. 90 posts a day is a lot. I understand that. For me, I probably do about 90 posts a week just because there's so much going on, right? Pick those 5. If 10 is too much, pick your poison, whatever it really is, right? So if it's easier to say, I'm going to focus on these 4 or 5 hashtags, and I'm going to do like 9 to 12 posts every like couple of days, that works as well. But remember, when you're following those actual hashtags, those people and that hashtag is now going to appear in your feed as if you're connected with that person because you're following that hashtag. So Steve from Minnesota that used hashtag healthcare is now going to appear in your feed because he used hashtag healthcare. Now, hashtag healthcare is crazy because there's like 12.5 million people that follow that, but you understand what I'm saying. So find those industries that you're trying to get more involved in and you're trying to get engaged in, that you're trying to be join in on those communities to get your voice out there, because what are we trying to do? We're trying to get involved in the conversation. We're trying to take those opportunities and take them from ice cold to lukewarm and drive traffic to our profile, right? And we kind of talked about this earlier too, like what does that daily routine look like? For me, it's kind of an all-day thing, kind of checking LinkedIn, liking stuff, posting stuff, staying on top of it, being involved in the conversation. But it can be as easy as just like, comment, and share daily, right? Take that little bit of time in the morning and go through and show the love throughout your contacts and your connections. You know, anytime that people have like a position available, I always just share it out in all capital letters. I write opportunity alert. Boom. Here you go. Right. And now I've just put that in my feed for other people to see. So it's just balancing out, not getting kind of paralyzed by not knowing what to post. Because if you don't know what to post or you don't want to post, share and get involved in the conversation. And I think overall, we got to realize that even though you work for somebody and even though you own the company, you're still the brand for that company. So just don't be the best kept secret out there. All right. That's all I got for you guys.
How about a little bit of love from my buddy, the Harb?
Thanks so much, Ryan.
I love hanging out with people with energy, man. I think I have energy sometimes, and then I watch other people and I go, maybe I don't have that much energy. Really great, Ryan. Thank you so much. So let's open it up we have some time for Q&A. So such practical things, Ryan. Who has some questions to get us started here for Ryan? Wow.
I actually have a question that I would love to ask. So on the work experience section, I think, you think of like a resume where it's a 1 page, it's meant to be shorter. At what point would you advise kind of cutting off your work experience? Is there a certain number of points you should, or
I would say
really list?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's not about cutting things off. It's about the relevance of, showing either the growth on where you've gone. So like, like I have stuff all the way down from like 2003 because I was a store manager for like a retail store. But it's relevant because I have management experience, right? Okay. If you were a cook at McDonald's, probably not relevant, right? But like you're gonna, and if you have gaps in that stuff, you have gaps because maybe you were, doing whatever. But I'd say it's all about being specific on the jobs that you're putting on, because it's more about those bullet points of the experience and what you've done to kind of show you as a whole as a person. So
Great, thank you.
Yep.
I have a question.
Sure.
Ryan. I'm trying to think how to phrase this. What would you recommend not posting on LinkedIn? Does that make sense? I mean, you went through some of the profile pictures. That was a phenomenal comparison. But like content wise, where do you draw the line?
Facebook stuff is not LinkedIn stuff. So nobody cares about your kids. Nobody cares about your family. Stay away from the politics shit. Like all that is just, it's not relevant. I mean, look, you can do family stuff. Like I'm okay with that. Like that's some fun culture things and like here and there. But like if every
like top line family stuff.
Yeah, stop it. Nobody
Like Ryan, like let me ask you, like I tried to stay away from putting pictures of my children on, but like a couple of years ago, this may have been relevant because I was at the book fairies and my daughter and I were volunteering at the book.
Love that.
Like I'm a nonprofit sector connector. Like that's relevant. Like that's
killer,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's got to make sense.
Yeah, and like you can have fun. You can have fun with it too. Like I there's a woman that does a lot of stuff with like her dogs, and like her dogs are like her ambassadors. So like she's doing like shout outs for some of the stuff that they're doing, and she puts her dogs in the pictures. Like cool, fun. But like like everyday stuff, like look, there again, know the audience that you're dealing with, right? There's a difference between Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and Twitter and YouTube and Rumble and all of it. Like there's difference. It's a different animal. So just know what message you're trying to put out, what that audience looks like, and what they want to see. I mean, people care about like life and things like that. Like, it's funny, like if you want to have your kids be in the video and be like, hey, I'm going to do a video. When I start, you guys are going to do X, Y, and Z. And like, a daily look into my life. And it's like, and your kid comes in and goes, my day, hold on, I'm trying to, like, that's funny. Like, have fun with it. But like, I would only utilize that so much.
I guess too, Ryan, sorry. I guess the other part of that is like, yes, know your audience based on the platform, but also know your audience based on, I know your firm is focused a lot in the food industry, consumer packaged goods, I believe, right? Things like that. That's a different audience than my audience, where I'm trying to get in front of leaders of nonprofit organizations. So it's I guess it's what's on brand for you. Like, and again, I love the personal brand focus that you have. And obviously you have your own personal brand, and certainly I do as well, but we actually represent companies behind that. But it is, I think it's so important for nonprofit leaders to know, whether you're the director of development or the executive director or some other leader, that it is about Jen Capezza. It is about Linda Berman. It's not just about the .org behind them, right?
100%. 100%. I mean, again, your culture content is going to shine 100 times more than your corporate content, and especially from the nonprofit sector. You guys have a hard gig, especially now. We all know that, right? Because like, if every post that you're posting is, come to my event, give me money, come to my event, here's a golf outing, come to my event, here's this, here's a gala. They're like, all right, every time Jen posts, it's the same stuff. All she wants is money. But if you're doing that in like an 80-20 mentality, where a lot of your stuff is like insight, like, oh, we had a great session last night. This woman was going through all this nonsense, and because of us, she was like able to go, and now she just got her apartment and she's totally kicking ass. Like, love it. That's the stuff people want to see.
We say that. We do say that.
That's the stuff people want to see.
No, and I appreciate you for saying, because that's sort of where I was going with that, is that where's that balance? I'm obviously front facing for my organization, and at the moment, I'm frankly the only front facing person for a variety of reasons, and I connect a lot. I actually had to clean up my Facebook page because so many small businesses on Long Island aren't on LinkedIn, and all of these groups, I ended up connecting. Like, I had no choice. My Instagram is private, and that's where I share my private and like 7,500 pictures of my dog, maybe a cocktail or two. But my Facebook ended up almost replacing my LinkedIn for the last couple of years. And then I want to reach out to hire.
Facebook is weird
and
now.
I say that I know, and it's weird because I didn't do it on purpose. I literally, and my friends now know not to tag me and not to post pictures of like the shenanigans, frankly, at the camp that go on at the campground, because I'm connected to so many business networking.
Well, there's a
like
positive
I
and
essentially
negative to that.
represent myself as LAADV on Facebook because I had no choice.
So what I've seen over the last probably, all right, so 5 years ago, it was totally different. I was not connected with anybody that I networked with. Now, over the last like 18 months, it has been insane. Everybody wants to connect with me on Facebook. And I run Facebook totally different than I run LinkedIn. Facebook, I don't give a shit. I'm friends with everybody. Great. I'll be friends with everybody. I'll tell everybody what I'm doing. Here's the, like what's going on. Like I'll do a little bit of my content like that's like work related on there too. Like I don't care. Like this is what's happening. Like I'm all for it. But like again, it's a different platform. So like if I'm out having drinks, like there's this weird mentality that I understand. Like I hate to break the news to you, everybody, but people curse and they swear. Okay. Like, sorry, that's what happens. People get drunk and they have a good time. Like, sorry, that's what happens in real life. Like, so like, that's what the platform is. Like, that's who I am. So if you want to get a little bit of an insight on where I'm at, like, understand that that's what Facebook is. But at the same time, like Instagram is a totally different animal now too. Like nobody cares about business stuff on Instagram. They just don't care. I'm like, hey, I'm on this thing and I'm on this call and here's a Zoom thing and I was hanging out with this person. Nobody gives a shit. They just don't care. So I changed my entire Instagram over to like, I play video games, right? I have like over 700 games in my house. I play tons of stuff. I got a bunch of stuff hooked up to my TVs. Now I just do like, hey, here's the random games that I play. And that does way better on Instagram because the audience cares about that stuff. So I wouldn't hide the fact that you have shenanigans at the thing, but you know, if you're running around toting guns, then I would probably not post that content.
Yeah, no, I don't do that. And by the way, it's funny you say that because private or not, I still will not, there's a line I will not cross regardless, because I still at the end of the day do represent LA against domestic violence. 100%. And I can't risk something being out there that is completely against our agency policy. But that was like a conscious choice that I made a while ago because I make so many connections on Facebook and I do so well on Facebook that I said, you know what, my Instagram, I'm just going to make it private and leave it. Like, and that'll be my
gotta bring it back, guys.
Yeah, let me
say something. As an organization, you should all have social media policies for the people that work within your organization, because you may be front facing and you may be the one to lead it, but if you've got 6 people or 8 people and they're following the same thing, then your reputation, and I deal with that, starts to get dinged, or you start to get tagged in places you don't want to. So it's great for social media, but you need to have policies and that they are brand ambassadors, kind of what they can or cannot tag for you.
And the
May
young,
I ask a question?
Ryan, respond, and then I got to take it away for a second. Go ahead.
The younger millennial generation. Okay, so like I'm 82, so I'm kind of a millennial, but I'm more of a zillennial kind of thing. But the younger millennials and the Zoomer kids, they don't really understand that. They just put everything out there. So it's very important, like Sherry said, to kind of be like, hey, dummy, everyone can see that, just so you know, and you work for us.
And I teach college too, and I have to teach the students that they can, because the first time someone's looking for a job for them, that keg party shows up.
Yeah.
And that's not okay. And they're getting judged that way. But this is your organization. You've worked so hard to protect your brand.
Correct.
And you've got 20 people and 30 volunteers, and everybody may mean well, but they don't understand
exactly
what the long-term implications are. So you need to
great points. All
Tommy,
great
can I
points.
ask a quick question?
Here's the thing. I promised everybody could be on their way at 9:55. I could stay a little longer. If Harb can stay longer.
I'm good.
So,
Bring it on.
but
Let's
I promise you, if you got to drop off. I do want, Linda, you have a question, and then I have a question from Sharon Kleinberg that we want to get to.
I'm good. I got, you guys are good until 10:30, so we're fine.
Okay. Thanks, Tommy. First of all, Ryan, you look amazing for 82. And then it occurs to me, 1982. I went to college in 1982. He's 82. He looks amazing.
Message me. I'll give you my secrets.
Yes. My question is that I got onto Facebook, years ago, and then I got onto LinkedIn after that. So my professional contacts and friends are mixed. I have people on Facebook, on my personal Facebook page, on my personal LinkedIn page who really belong in the more professional setting. How do I clean up my list to move somebody from a personal site to a professional, let's say Facebook or LinkedIn?
Yeah, so I mean, you can unfriend people. The problem with Facebook is that the AI and the algorithm is so crazy that you'll get rid of people and unfriend them, and then you'll come back up as a suggestion. So that's kind of
Right.
where I've been at, where I'm just like, all right, I'm just friends with everybody on Facebook, like whatever it is. But on the LinkedIn side, if you're trying to balance that out a little bit better on LinkedIn, it's not as aggressive, um, I would say, on the LinkedIn side. So I would just kind of go through and clean it up a little bit. And remember, you have to accept those people to be your friends. So if you're going to clean up your stuff on Facebook and you don't want to be friends with those people, just don't accept their friend request.
It's less about wanting to drop somebody and more about wanting to move them to the more appropriate site.
Platform. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's
yeah.
nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I mean, if you want to keep your Facebook, look, if you want to keep your Facebook clean and neat and like only have like 100 something people because it's your family, just keep people in the queue and just don't accept them and say like, or reach out and just be like, hey, thanks for reaching out, but let's just connect on LinkedIn. Just spill your
Okay.
guts. Like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
So final question, and then
Thank you.
thank you, Linda. Sorry to cut it short, but we had a lot of content here today. So real quick, Ryan, if you could speak to Sharon's question, can you talk about groups, finding the most relevant groups and then posting within the group? Quick comment on groups on LinkedIn.
Yeah, sure. I mean, groups were terrible about like 4 or 5 years ago, and they've kind of revamped them over the last couple of years. They're good. I think the difference between the Facebook groups and the LinkedIn groups is that Facebook groups is more like geared towards people's like hobbies and like interests, and the LinkedIn groups are more geared towards the business side of things and coaches and things like that. So they are good, but I think that there's just LinkedIn is a 9 to 5 platform, honestly. And during that day, I don't have enough time to do the content I'm doing, try to clean out this forever inbox that is never, ever, ever empty, and doing sales and calls and all that, and then trying to integrate groups into my day is difficult. I mean, it's good to get involved in more of the local stuff. It is a great spot to post more of your events that are going on to get more eyeballs on that. But you know, groups are good to kind of just continue to grow. I mean, there are a lot of really nice opportunities to connect with maybe new industries you're trying to be part of to get into those groups. But you really on LinkedIn, I would say that you have to consciously like dedicate time to groups to get involved in the engagement factor and that conversation. So.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I want to let you ask 10 or 15 more questions, but I did make a commitment this year that we would give you the opportunity to make it on time to a 10 o'clock meeting. So I don't want to screw up what my promise was this year. Ryan Harbinson, Harb, I can't thank you enough. Incredible content. Thank you for being here. Thanks for becoming part of our community. Really special. We'll get you Ryan's contact info, but if you paid attention, you can follow him on LinkedIn.
I'm going to email everybody out a cheat sheet that I have and some other stuff too. So keep an eye out. I'll do that later.
Perfect. We'll get those materials out to you. This has been the, what month is it? April 2021 segment of the Nonprofit Executive Leadership Roundtable. I'm your buddy Tommy D, coming at you from the attic. You know that. We'll talk soon. Thanks for being here, everybody. Reach out to me if I can help in any way. Harp, thanks again, man. Really appreciate it.
I could stay on if you want to stay on for another couple minutes, so we're fine with that. It's up to you.
I'll stop the video.